ኦኬ ወዲ ተማሪዎች እንኳን ወደ አሊ ሳይንስ ዩቲዩብ ቻናል በሰላም መጣችሁ። ዛሬም የ11ኛ ክፍል ባዮሎጂ ትምህርት ላይ ከምዕራፍ 4 ኦን ጄኔቲክስ መቶ የፈተና ጥያቄዎች ከነመልሳቸው በአምሃሪክ ቱቶሪያል ይዤ ቀርባለሁ። So our today's tutorial on new curriculum biology grade 11 unit 4 100 exam question with answer on genetics tutorial in Amharic. So don't forget ይሄን ቪዲዮ የምታዩበት ጊዜ ማርሳት የሌለባችሁ ነገር ምንድነው? VPN ማክፈት እንዳትረሱ። VPN በማክፈት እንድታዩ በአክብሮት ጠይቃችኋለሁ። እንደዛውም ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ ያላደረጋችሁ ዛሬው ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ እኔ የለቀኩት ነገር ቶሎ እናንተ ጋር እንደሚደርስ አድርጉ። ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ ካደረጋችሁ እኔ የለቀኩት ነገር ቶሎ እናንተ ጋር ስለሚደርስ ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ VPN ከፍታችሁ እንድታዩ በአክብሮት ጠይቃችኋለሁ ማለት ነው። VPN ከፍታችሁ ካያችሁ የምታገኙት ጥቅም ምንድነው? ኳሊቲ ያለው ቪዲዮ ታገኛላችሁ። በደንብ የሚታይ ጥርት ያለ ቪዲዮ ታገኛላችሁ። ስለዚህ VPN ከፍታችሁ እንድታዩ በአክብሮት በድጋሜ ጠይቃችኋለሁ። So let us start our tutorial on Unit 4 100 exam question with answer on genetics. Instruction: choose the best answer for a question from the given alternative. ከተሰጣቸው ምርጫ ውስጥ ትክክለኛውን ምርጫ በመምረጥ ጥያቄውን መልሱ ይላል። Question number 1. What is the branch of biology concerned with the study of genetic material and how traits are passed from one generation to the next? የባዮሎጂ ቅርንጫፍ ሆኖ ስለ ጄኔቲክ ማቴሪያል የሚያጠናና እነኚህ የጄኔቲክ ማቴሪያሎች ከትውልድ ወደ ትውልድ የሚተላለፍበት መንገዶችን የሚያጠና ባዮሎጂ ቅርንጫፍ ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be genetics. Means that genetics is a branch of biology concerned with the study of genetic materials and how traits are passed from one generation to the next. Question number 2. What is the genetic material found in almost all organisms and responsible for storing genetic information that transferred from one generation to the next generation? ሁሉም genetic information ስቶር የሚያደርግና እንደዚሁም ከትውልድ ወደ ትውልድ genetic information ለማስተላለፍ ኃላፊነት ያለው ከመከተሉት የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be A, DNA. Means that DNA is a genetic material found in almost all organisms and are responsible for storing genetic information that transferred from one generation to the next generation. Question number 3. What is the genetic material is some virus like HIV and COVID-19? Genetic materialoች የተወሰኑ ቫይረስ ውስጥ የሚገኙ HIV እና COVID-19 ውስጥ የሚገኙ genetic material የትኛው ነው ይላል። So its answer should be A, RNA. Means that RNA is genetic material in some virus like HIV and COVID-19. Question number 4. Which of the following is shape does DNA molecule form? ከመከተሉት የዲኤንኤ ሞሌኩል የሚፈጠረው ስትራክቸር የሆነው ቅርጽ የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be B, double helix. Means that DNA forms double helix or double stranded helical structure resembling twisted leather. Question number 5. Who discovered the double helix structure of DNA molecule? የዲኤንኤ ሞሌኩል ድርብ ሄሊካል መዋቅር ያገኘው ማን ነው ይላል። So that ያገኙት ማን ነው ይላል። So that should be D, Watson and Crick. Means that James Watson and Francis Crick discovered double helix structure of DNA molecule. Question number 6. Which of the following structure contain genes and made up of protein and DNA? ከሚከተሉት ስትራክቸሮች ጂኖች ያዙና እንደዚሁም ከዲኤንኤ እና ከፕሮቲን የተመሰረተ የትኛው ስትራክቸር ይላል። So that should be C, chromosomes. Means that chromosomes are thread-like structure made up of protein and DNA that contains gene. Question number 7. What is the nitrogenous base composition in DNA molecule with 30% of adenine? DNA ውስጥ nitrogenous base composition የአዴኒን 30% ከሆነ የሌሎች ስንት ይሆናል ነው? So that should be A, thymine 30%, guanine and cytosine at 20%. Means that in DNA, adenine pairs with thymine. So the DNA ውስጥ adenine ከታይሚን ጋር ፔር ያደርጋል ስለዚህ adenine 30 ከሆነ thymine 30% ይሆናል ማለት ነው ስለዚህ የቀረው 40% ለጓኒን እና ሳይቶሲን እኩል ይካፈላሉ 20% ይሆናል ማለት ነው question number 8 which of the following forms backbone of DNA molecule ከሚከተሉት የዲኤንኤ backbone የሚሰሩ ሞለኪውሎች DNA ውስጥ የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be B sugar and phosphate means that the backbone of DNA molecule is formed by sugar and phosphate question number 9 what section of DNA structure determines the characteristics of an organism called ከዲኤንኤ ሴክሽን ውስጥ ስትራክቸር ሴክሽን ውስጥ የአንድን ኦርጋኒዝም ባህሪ የሚቆጣጠር ዲተርማይን የሚያደርግ የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be C genes means that genes the section of DNA structure that determine characteristics of an organism is called genes question number 10 which of the following process allows DNA to make copy of itself during cell division ሴሎች የሚከፋፈሉበት ጊዜ DNA የራሱን ኮፒ እንዲያደርግ በምን ፕሮሰስ ነው ማለት ነው DNA የራሱን ኮፒ የሚያደርግበት በምን ፕሮሰስ ነው ይላል so that should be C DNA replication means that DNA replication is the process by which DNA copy itself during cell division ስለዚህ ሴሎች የሚከፋፈሉበት ጊዜ DNA የራሱን ኮፒ የሚያደርግበት ሂደት DNA replication ይባላል ማለት ነው question number 11 which of the following is pyrimidine base found both in DNA and RNA ከሚከተሉት pyrimidine base DNA እና ሁለቱም DNA እና RNA ውስጥ የሚገኝ pyrimidine base የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be D cytosine means that cytosine is a pyrimidine base found both in DNA and RNA pyrimidine purines የምንላቸው adenine እና guanine ናቸው double ringed structure ናቸው ማለት ነው purines ሁለቱም DNA ውስጥ ይገኛሉ ግን pyrimidine base ስንል cytosine thymine እና uracil ነው አለው cytosine DNA እና pyrimidine ውስጥ cytosine DNA እና RNA ውስጥ ሁለቱም ውስጥ ይገኛል ግን thymine DNA ውስጥ ብቻ ነው uracilም RNA ውስጥ ብቻ ነው ማለት ነው question number 12 what is the difference between sugar in DNA and RNA sugar in RNA DNA ውስጥ የሚገኝ ያለው ሱካር እና RNA ውስጥ የሚገኝ ሱካር ያለው መካከለ ያለው ዲፈረንስ ወይ ልዩነት የሆነ የትኛው ነው ይላል so that should be C DNA contains deoxyribose and while RNA contains ribose sugar ማለት DNA ያለው ሱጋር deoxyribose ይባላል RNA ያለው ደግሞ ribose sugar ይባላል ማለት ነው question number 13 how many hydrogen bonds are formed between cytosine and guanine cytosine እና guanine መሃል ውስጥ የሚፈጠሩ ሃይድሮጂን ቦንድ ስንት ነው ይላል so that should be C3 means that cytosine and guanine form 3 hydrogen bonds in DNA making their bond slightly stronger than adenine thymine bond adenine thymine forms 2 hydrogen bonds ስለዚህ cytosine እና guanine ውስጥ መሃል የሚፈጠር ቦንድ 3 hydrogen bond ነው ግን thymine እና adenine ውስጥ የሚፈጠር መሃል ውስጥ የሚፈጠር 2 hydrogen bond ነው ማለት ነው ስለዚህ cytosine እና guanine መሃል ያለው ቦንዱ more strong ነው ማለት ነው question number 14 in what cellular location does transcription take place in eukaryotic cell transcription eukaryotic cell ውስጥ የት cellular location ውስጥ ከናወናል ይላል so that should be A in nucleus means that transcription occurs in nucleus of eukaryotic cell where DNA is located ስለዚህ transcription eukaryotic cell ውስጥ የሚፈጠረው nucleus ውስጥ ነው ማለት ነው እሱም DNA ያለበት ቦታ ነው question number 15 which enzyme is responsible for adding nucleotide to growing DNA strand during replication በreplication ጊዜ ኤንዛይሞችን growing region ላይ አድም nucleotide አድም ያደርገው ኤንዛይም ምን ይባላል ነው so that should be C DNA polymerase means that DNA polymerase add a new nucleotide to growing strand of DNA during replication question number 16 which of the following structure forms within the long helical DNA during DNA replication and appears like Y-shaped fork ከሚከተሉት structure DNA replicate የሚሆንበት ጊዜ Y-shaped fork የሚመስል long helical DNA structure የሚፈጥር ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be a replication fork. Means that replication fork is a structure that forms within the long helical DNA during DNA replication and appears like Y-shaped fork. Question number 17. What is the primary function of DNA in organism? Organism ውስጥ የዲኤንኤ ስራው ምንድነው ይላል? So that should be B, to store genetic information. Means that DNA stores all genetic information needed to growth, development and reproduction and also survival of an organism. Question number 18. Which of the following type of RNA involves genetic code from moves genetic code from DNA to ribosomes? ከሚከተሉት የአርኤንኤ አይነት ጄኔቲክ ኮድ ከዲኤንኤ ወደ ራይቦዞም የሚያደርሱ RNA አይነት ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be B, messenger RNA. Means that messenger RNA carries genetic code from DNA in nucleus to the ribosome in cytoplasm where protein is synthesized. Question number 19. Which of the following is primary function of RNA in the cell? ከሚከተሉት የአርኤንኤ ስራው ሴል ውስጥ የአርኤንኤ ስራ የሆነ የትኛው ነው ላል? So that should be D, facilitate protein synthesis. Means that the primary function of RNA in the cell is to facilitate protein synthesis. Question number 20. Which one of the following is process by which DNA is copied to messenger RNA? ከመከተሉት ሂደቶች DNA ወደ RNA ኮፒ የሚሆንበት ሂደት ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be A, transcription. Means that transcription is the process by which DNA is copied to messenger RNA. ስለዚህ DNA ወደ RNA ኮፒ የሚሆንበት ሂደት transcription ይባላል ማለት ነው። Number 21. What is the process that involves cell growth, cell division to produce new daughter cell? ከሚከተሉት ሂደቶች ሴሎችን ሴሉ የሚያደጉበት የሚከፋፈሉበት ሂደት እና አዲስ ሴል የሚፈጥሩበት ሂደት ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be A, cell cycle. Means that cell cycle involves cell growth, cell division to produce new daughter cells. Question number 22. Which one of the following is type of cell division that mitosis undergo? ከመከተሉት የሴል ሴሎች የሚከፋፈሉበት በማይቶሲስ ሴሎች የሚከፋፈሉበት በማከፋፈል የሚፈጠረው ሴል የትኛው ነው ላል? So that should be C, somatic cell. Means that somatic cell undergo mitosis. These include most body cells, tissue and organs such as skin, muscles and hair cells. ስለዚህ በማይቶሲስ የሚከፋፈሉ ሴሎች ሶማቲክ ሴል ነው ማለት ነው። የሰውነታችን ሴሎች ናቸው። ሴክስ ሴል፣ ጀርም ሴል ወይ ጋሜት ዛይጎት ሴል የምንላቸው በማዮሲስ ነው ማለት ነው። Question number 23. During which phase of interphase does DNA replication occur? በየትኛው ኢንተርፌስ ፌስ ውስጥ DNA replicate ይሆናል ነው? So that should be B, during S phase. Means that during DNA replication occurs during S phase or synthesis phase of interphase. Question number 24. What type of bond forms between complementary nitrogenous bases in DNA? የዲኤንኤ ኮምፕሊሜንታሪ ናይትሮጀነስ ቤዝ ውስጥ መሃል የሚፈጠረው ቦንድ አይነት ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be D, hydrogen bond. Means that hydrogen bond forms between complementary nitrogenous base adenine with thymine. There is a double bond of hydrogen bond, and cytosine with guanine with cytosine there is a triple bond in DNA. Question number 25. The preparation of cell for mitosis by replenishing energy stores and synthesizing protein is known as. ስለዚህ ሴሎች ለማይቶሲስ ለማግባት ወይ ሴል ለማከፋፈል በማይቶሲስ ሂደት ኤነርጂ ሪፕሌሽ የሚያደርጉበትና ፕሮቲን ሳይንተሳይዝ የሚያደርጉበት የትኛው ፌስ ላይ ነው ይላል? So that should be C, second gap phase. Means that during second gap G2 or second gap phase, cell prepares for mitosis by replenishing energy stores and synthesize proteins. Question number 26. During which phase of mitosis nuclear envelope start to dissociate and chromosome become more condensed. የትኛው የማዮሲስ ፌስ ውስጥ ኒውክሊየር ኢንቨሎፑ ለማጥፋት ወይ ደግሞ የሚቆራረጥበትና ክሮሞዞሞች ሞር ኮንደንስድ ወይ የሚሰበሰቡበት ፌስ የትኛው ይላል? So that should be a prophase. Means that during prophase nuclear envelope starts to dissociate and chromosomes become more condensed. ስለዚህ በፕሮፌስ ኦፍ ማይቶሲስ ላይ ኒውክሊየር ኢንቨሎፑ በማቆራረጥ ዲሶሲየት ይሆናል። ክሮሞዞሞች ሞር ይታያሉ ማለት ነው። ኮንደንስድ ተሰብስበው ኮንደንስድ ሆነው ይታያሉ ማለት ነው። Question number 27. During which phase of meiosis do homologous chromosomes separate but sister chromatid of each chromosome remain attached? በየትኛው meiosis phase ውስጥ homologous chromosomes separate የሚከፋፈሉበትና sister chromatidoች ግን አንድ ላይ ተጣብቀው የሚቆዩበት የትኛው phase ላይ ይሆናል? So that should be C, anaphase first. Means that during anaphase first homologous chromosomes are separated and pulled toward opposite poles of the cell, but sister chromatid of each chromosomes remain attached to each other at the centromere. It is only during anaphase, that is meiosis, that sister chromatid can be fully separated and pulled apart. Question number 28. Which one of the following type of cell are produced by meiosis? ከሚከተሉት ሴሎች አይነት በማዮሲስ produced የሚሆኑ ሴሎች የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be B, sex cell. Means that meiosis produce sex cell or gamete such as sperm and egg cell. Question number 29. What is the number and appearance of chromosome in a nucleus of a cell? የሴሎች ኒውክለስ ውስጥ የክሮሞዞም ቁጥርና ክሮሞዞም አፒራንሱ ምን ተብሎ አንድ ላይ ይጠራል ነው? So that should be karyotype D. A karyotype is a visual representation of number and appearance of chromosome in a nucleus of a cell. Question number 30. What complementary sequence of DNA strand, that is 5 prime A G T C C G 3 prime? ስለዚህ የዲኤንኤ ኮምፕሊሜንተሪ ቤዝ ከዚህ ጋራ ኮምፕሊሜንት የሚያደርግ ወይ ደግሞ ተገጣጣሚ ሊሆን የሚችለው ከዚህ ጋራ በአንድ ማድረግ የሚችለው የዲኤንኤ ኮምፕሊሜንተሪ ሲኩዌንስ የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be A, means that adenine paired with thymine, cytosine, guanine paired with cytosine, thymine paired with adenine, cytosine paired with guanine, again cytosine paired with guanine, and guanine paired with cytosine, and the 3 prime and 5 prime are antiparallel ተቃራኒ ነው ማለት ነው። The complementary base pairing in DNA involves adenine paired with thymine and cytosine paired with guanine, so the answer should be perfectly A. Question number 31. Which of the following is significance of meiosis in sexual reproduction? But sexual reproduction ጊዜ የmeiosis ጥቅም ነው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C, to produce. It produce genetic variation. Means that meiosis reduce number of the chromosome number by half, producing haploid gamete, and increase genetic variation through crossing over and independent assortment. Question number 32. Which of the following is a result of telophase 2 and cytokinesis in meiosis? በmeiosis ከሚከተሉት የቴሎፌዝ ሰከንድ እና ሳይቶካይኔሲስ ሪዛልት የሆነ meiosis ውስጥ የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be B, for haploid outer cell, which are different from each other. Means that at the end of telophase 2 and the cytokinesis, 4 non-identical haploid outer cell are produced. Question number 33. What is the term for exchange of genetic material between non-sister chromatid during prophase first of meiosis that increase genetic variation? ስለዚህ ከሚከተሉት የትኛው ተርም ጄኔቲክ ቫሪዬሽን ጄኔቲክ ማቴሪያል ኤክስቼንጅ የሚሆን ወይ የሚለዋወጥበትና non-sister chromatid ጄኔቲክ ማቴሪያል የሚለዋወጥበትና ጄኔቲክ ቫሪዬሽን የሚፈጠርበት ፕሮፌስ ፈርስት ላይ በምን ተብሎ ይጠራል ነው? So that should be A, crossing over. Means that crossing over is exchange of genetic material between non-sister chromatid of homologous chromosomes during prophase first and increase genetic variation. Question number 34. In which phase of meiosis does nuclear envelope dissolve and releasing chromosomes? የትኛው የmeiosis phase ውስጥ nuclear envelope dissolve በመሆን ክሮሞዞሞችን ለሳይቶፕላዝም የሚለቅበት የትኛው ፌስ ላይ ነው ይላል? So that should be D, for phase 2. Means that during process 2, nuclear envelope dissolves and releasing chromosomes into cytoplasm. Question number 35. What is the complementary sequence to DNA strand that 5' AGTCG to RNA sequence? ስለዚህ DNA complementary sequence ለRNA sequence ሊሆን የሚችለው ከሚከተሉት RNA sequence ከዚህ DNA ጋራ ፔር ላይ ያደረገ የሚችል የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be A 3' UCAGCG 5'. Means that to find the complementary RNA sequence to DNA sequence strand that 5' AGCTTCG 3', we need to follow the base pairing rules with understanding RNA uses instead of timing. ስለዚህ አሁን እዚህ ላይ ፔር ለማድረግ ይሄን ቤስ ፔሪንግ ሩል ለማጠበቅ ማወቅ ያለብን RNA የታይሚንግ ቦታ ዩራሲል ይጠቀማል። ስለዚህ ዩራሲል DNA ውስጥ የለም ማለት ነው። ታይሚንም RNA ውስጥ የለም። ስለዚህ ይሄንን ፔር ኮምፕሊሜንተሪ ቤዝ ፔር ሲኩዌንሲንግ ፔር ስናደርግ አዴኒን ከዩራሲል ጋራ ጓኒን ከሳይቶሲን ጋራ ታይሚን ከአዴኒን ጋራ አሁን አገን ታይሚን ከአዴኒን ጋራ ሳይቶሲን ከጓኒን ጋራ አገን ሳይቶሲን ጓኒን ከሳይቶሲን ጋራ ፔር ያደርጋል። ስለዚህ 3 to 5' ይሄዳል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ the answer should be perfectly A ነው ማለት ነው። Question number 36. Which of the following occurs by process of cytokinesis? ከመከተሉት the cytokinesis process በcytokinesis ሂደት የሚፈጠር የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be B, the division of cytoplasm. Means that cytokinesis is the process of physically separating cytoplasmic components into two daughter cells. Question number 37. What are the stop codons that terminate protein synthesis? ከሚከተሉት stop codon የሚባሉ ና ፕሮቲን ማምረቻ የሚያቆሙ ተርሚኔት የሚያደርጉ ኮዶኖች የትኞቹ ናቸው ይላል? So that should be B, UAG, UAA and UGA. Means that UAG, UAA and UGA are stop codons that terminate protein synthesis. Question number 38. From the following scholars, who is known as the father of genetics? ከሚከተሉት ስኮላሮች የጄኔቲክስ አባት ተብሎ የሚታወቀው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C, Gregor Mendel. Means that Gregor Mendel is known as the father of genetics for his pioneering work on inheritance of trait in a plant. Question number 39. What is the process of cell division that result into two identical daughter cell called? ከሚከተሉ ሂደቶች ሴሎች የሚከፋፈሉበትና ሁለት ተመሳሳይ አዳዲስ ሴሎች የሚፈጠሩበት ሂደት ሴል division process ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be D, mitosis. Means that mitosis is the process of cell division that result in two identical daughter cell. Question number 40. Which of the following is known as resting phase, where cell is neither dividing nor preparing to divide, but performs regulatory and basic cellular function? ከሚከተሉት resting phase ተብሎ እረፍት ጊዜ ተብሎ የሚታወቀውና ሴሎች የማይከፋፈሉበትና ለማከፋፈል የማይዘጋጁበት ፌስ እና ቤዚክ ስራውን ብቻ የሚወጡበት ፌስ ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be D, G0 phase or G0 phase. Means that G0 phase is a phase where cell is neither dividing nor preparing to divide, but performs regulatory and basic cellular function. Question number 41. What is the role of centrosome during cell division? ሴሎች የሚከፋፈሉበት ጊዜ የሴንትሮሶም ስራው ምንድነው ይላል? So that should be C, help in chromosome manipulation. Means that the centrosome organize microtubules and also play key roles in manipulation of chromosomes during cell division. Question number 42. Which of the following is correct sequence of events in cell cycle? ከሚከተሉት ስለ ሴል ሳይክል በትክክል በቅደም ተከተል የተቀመጠው ኢቨንት የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be A, G1, S, G2, M phase. Means that the correct sequence of event in cell cycle is the first gap phase G1 or S phase G2 second gap phase and M or mitotic phase. Question number 43. What is the chromosome number in daughter cell produced by meiosis compared to parent cell? የክሮሞዞም ነምበር ዳውተር አዳዲስ ሴሎች ውስጥ በማውሲስ የተፈጠሩ አዳዲስ ሴሎች ክሮሞዞም ፓረንት ሴሉ ከፓረንት ሴል ጋራ ክሮሞዞም ነምበሩን አነጻጽረን ስናየው ምን ይመስላል ነው። ስለዚህ ሶዛን ሄር ቢ ሃፍ ነው ማለት ነው። ማለት ከአባትም ከእናት 50% ስለሚወስድ በሃፍ ይቀነሳል ነው። means that chromosome number in daughter cell produced by meiosis is half of the parent cell, ግን የማይቶሲስ ቢሆን it is the same as parent cell ነው ማለት ነው። Question number 44. What structure forms in prophase first that allows homologous chromosome to exchange genetic material? በፕሮፌስ ፈርስት ላይ የሚፈጠረው ስትራክቸር እና ክሮሞዞም homologous ክሮሞዞሞች ጄኔቲክ ማቴሪያል እንዲቀያየሩ የሚያደርግ ስትራክቸር የትኛው ነው ላል so that should be C chiasma means that the chiasma is the structure that forms during prophase first of meiosis allowing homologous chromosome to exchange genetic material through the process of crossing over. Question number 45. Which of the following is the start codon that initiate protein synthesis? ከመከተሉት ስታርት ኮዶን የመጀመሪያ ፕሮቲኖች ለማምረት የመጀመሪያ ስታርት የሚያደርገው ፕሮሰሱ ወይ ስታርት ኮዶን የሚባለው የትኛው ነው ይላል። so that should be DAUG adenine uracil guanine means that adenine uracil guanine or AUG or methionine is a start codon that initiate protein synthesis. Question number 46. Which of the following are two fundamental principles of Mendel's inheritance? ከመከተሉት ሁለት የሜንደልስ ህጎች የኢንሄሪታንስ ህጎች ተብለው የሚታወቁ የትኞቹ ናቸው ይላል። so that should be B law of segregation and law of independent assortment. Means that the two fundamental principles of Mendel's inheritance are the law of segregation and the law of independent assortment. Question number 47. What did Gregor Mendel use to conduct his experiment on inheritance? Inheritance ላይ Mendel ስለማስራት ስለ ኤክስፔሪመንት ወይ ደግሞ የሰራው ኤክስፔሪመንት ኢንሄሪታንስ ለማወቅ ኤክስፔሪመንት ተሰራው ምን ላይ ነው ይላል። so that should be C garden PS. Means that Gregor Mendel conducted experiment on garden pea or Pisium strabium. Question number 48. What are the contrasting traits that studied by Mendel in pea plants called? ሁለቱ ተቃራኒዎች ባህሪያት መንደልስ pea plant ላይ ያጠናው ምን ይባላሉ ነው። so that should be C dominant and recessive trait or alleles. Means that the contrasting traits studied by Mendel in pea plant are called dominant and recessive traits. Question number 49. Which of the following is not type of chromosomal disorder? ከመከተሉት chromosomal disorder ያልሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። so that should be D gene splicing. Means that gene splicing is a genetic engineering technique. It is not chromosomal disorder. Question number 50. Which of the following refers to genetic makeup or combination of alleles present in an organism? ከመከተሉት genetic makeup ወይ ደግሞ የአሌልስ ኮምቢኔሽን ተብሎ የሚታወቀው ኦርጋኒዝም ውስጥ የትኛው ነው ይላል። so that should be B genotype. Means that genotype is refers to genetic makeup or combination of alleles present in organism. ግን phenotype ማለት physical expression or ከራሳቸው ነው ማለት ነው። genetic makeup ወይ combination of alleles genotype ይባላሉ። so that should be perfectly B. Question number 51. Which type of inheritance pattern involves both alleles being expressed equally in the phenotype? ከመከተሉት ኢንሄሪታንስ ፓተርን አይነት ሁለቱ አሌሎች እኩል ራሳቸውን ፌኖታይፕ የሚገልጹበት ምን ይባላል ነው የሆነው የትኛው ነው? So that should be C. Codominance means that codominance is a pattern of inheritance where both alleles are expressed equally in phenotype. ሁለቱ አሌሎች በፌኖታይፕ እኩል ራሳቸው የሚገልጹ ከሆነ ያ ነገር ኮዶሚናንስ ይባላል ማለት ነው። Question number 52. Which of the following mix of genetic traits that produce an intermediate phenotype result in heterozygote in terms of physical trait? ከሚከተሉት የጄኔቲክ ትሬት ድብልቅ ወይ ደግሞ ሚክስ ኢንተርሚዲየት ፌኖታይፕ የሚሰጥና ሄትሮዛይጌት በፊዚካል ትሬት ሄትሮዛይጌት ነው የትኛው ነው ዳል? So that should be D. Incomplete dominance. It means that incomplete dominance is the mix of genetic traits that produce an intermediate phenotype result in heterozygote in terms of physical trait. ለምሳሌ ዋይት እና ሬድ አበባው ሚክስ ስናደርግ የሚሰጠው ፒንክ ከለር ከሆነ ሮዝ ከለር ከሆነ ፒንክ ሮዝ ከለር ከሆነ ይሄ ኢንተርሚዲየት ነው። ነጭም ቀይም አልሰጠ ፒንክ ነው ሰጣን። ስለዚህ ኢንተርሚዲየት ፌኖታይፕ ሰጥቶናል ማለት ነው። ይሄ ኢንኮምፕሊት ዶሚናንስ ይባላል ማለት ነው። ነጭም ቀይም ስላልሰጠ ፒንክ ነው ሌላ ነው ሰጣው ማለት ነው። ኢንተርሚዲየት ፌኖታይፕ ስለሰጠ incomplete dominance ይባላል። Question number 53. Which enzyme is responsible for synthesizing RNA during transcription? የትኛው ኤንዛይም በትራንስክሪፕሽን ጊዜ RNA ለማምረት ሪስፖንሲቢሊቲ ያለው ኤንዛይም ምን ይባላል ነው? So it should be A. RNA polymerase. Means that RNA polymerase is enzyme that is responsible for synthesizing RNA from DNA template during transcription. Question number 54. Which of the following is central dogma of molecular biology? ከሚከተሉት molecular biology ውስጥ central dogma ተብሎ የሚታወቀው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be B. DNA gives RNA, RNA gives protein. Means that the central dogma of molecular biology describes the flow of genetic information from DNA to RNA, RNA to proteins, or the genetic flow of from DNA then to RNA then to proteins. Question number 55. What is the inheritance pattern of blade ABO blade group system? Blade ABO blade group system ውስጥ ያለው inheritance pattern የትኛው ነው ላል? So that should be B. Codominance and multiple alleles ማለት ሁለቱም አለው ማለት ነው። Means that AB blade group system follows the inheritance pattern of codominance and multiple alleles. Question number 56. Which of the following could result in RH incompatibility during pregnancy? ከሚከተሉት RH incompatibility በእርግዝና ጊዜ ውስጥ RH incompatibility የሚያመጣው የትኛው ነው ላል? So that should be C. Father is RH positive and mother is RH negative. It gives RH incompatibility during pregnancy. RH incompatibility occurs when RH positive father and RH negative father have child, leading to potential RH sensitization in a mother. ስለዚህ አባቱ RH positive ከሆነ እናቱ RH negative ከሆነች የመጀመሪያው ልጅ የሚወለደው ልጅ RH sensitization እናቱ ውስጥ እንፈጠር አድርጎ ይወለዳል ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ አባቱና እናቱ RH positive ከሆኑ የመጀመሪያ ልጅ ብቻ ነው የሚወለዱ፣ የሁለተኛ አይችሉም ማለት ነው። አደጋ ይፈጥራል። RH ፋዘሩም RH ፖዚቲቭ እና እናቱ RH ኔጋቲቭ ከሆነችም አደጋ ይፈጥራል ማለት ነው። Question number 57. In a Mendel experiment, what was the result of crossing two true breeding pea plants, one with yellow seed and the other with green seed? በመንደል ኤክስፔሪመንት ውስጥ ትሩ ብሪዲንግ አተር ትሩ ብሪዲንግ ክሮስ እናደርግ የሎ ሲድ ካፒታል ዋይ ከስሞል ዋይ ግሪን ሲድ ጋራ ክሮስ እናደርግ የምናገኘው ውጤት የፈርስት ፊሊያል ጄኔሬሽን ወይ ትሩ ብሪዲንግ ምን ይሆናል ነው? ሶ ዛት ሻል ቢ ኦል የሎ ሲድ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። crossing to true breeding pea plants capital Y with small y resulted in all offspring capital Y small y displaying dominant traits or all yellow seed. Question number 58. What is the term for organism that has two identical alleles for a trait? አንድ ኦርጋኒዝም ለአንድ ባህሪ ያለው አሌሎች ተመሳሳይ የሆኑ ከሆኑ ይሄ ተርም ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be a homozygous. Means that an organism that has two identical alleles for a trait are called homozygous, and organism that has two different alleles for a trait is called heterozygous. ስለዚህ አንድ ኦርጋኒዝም ለአንድ ባህሪ ያለው አሌሎች ተመሳሳይ ከሆኑ ሆሞዛይገስ ይባላል። የሱ ያለው ጂኖች ወይ አሌሎች የተለያዩ ከሆነ ሄትሮዛይገስ ይባላል ማለት ነው። Question number 59. What are the terms used to donate dominant and recessive alleles of a gene? ዶሚናንት እና ሬሴሲቭ አሌሎች የጂን አሌሎች ዶኔት ለማድረግ ወይ ለማሳየም የምንጠቀመው ከሚከተሉት terms የትኛው ነው እንዳል? So that should be C, capital letters for dominant and small letters for recessive. Means that capital letters are used to donate dominant alleles and small letters are used to donate recessive alleles. Question number 60. What is the phenotype of F1 generation in the hybrid cross between round yellow seed, capital RR, capital YY, crossed with wrinkled green seed, small RR, small YY parent? ስለዚህ ፈርስት ጀነሬሽን ላይ ዳይብሪድ ፈርስት ጀነሬሽን ላይ የምናገኘው ካፒታል አር ካፒታል ዋይ ክሮስድ ዊዝ ስሞል አር ስሞል ዋይ ፓረንት ክሮስ እናደርግ የምናገኘው ውጤት ፈርስት ጀነሬሽን ላይ ምን ይሆናል ነው? ሶ ዘ ቢ ዲ ኦል ራውንድ የሎ ሲዲ እናገኛለን ማለት ነው ፈርስት ጀነሬሽን ላይ። means that the phenotype ratio in F1 generation or first generation hybrid cross between round yellow seed and a wrinkled yellow seed is all round yellow seed. Question number 61. What is the genotype ratio of F2 generation in monohybrid cross between heterozygous dominant of parent capital T small t? F2 generation ላይ የምናገኘው genotypic ratio monohybrid cross እናደርግ capital T እና small t cross እናደርግ F2 generation ላይ የምናገኘው genotype ratio ምን ይሆናል ነው? So that should be 1 to 2 to 1. C. Means that the genotype ratio of F2 generation in the monohybrid cross is 1 to 2, 1 to ratio 2 to 2 ratio 1. Question number 62. What tool is used to determine expected ratio of genotype and phenotype in offspring? Expected genotypic እና phenotypic ratio ለማወቅ ዲተርማይን ለማድረግ የምንጠቀመው ቱልስ ወይ መሳሪያ ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be B, Punnett square. Punnett square is used to determine expected ratio of genotype and phenotype in offspring. Question number 63. In which phase of meiosis does law of independent assortment occur? meiosis phase ውስጥ ከmeiosis phase ውስጥ law of independent assortment የሚፈጠርበት phase ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be C, metaphase first. Means that the law of independent assortment occurs in metaphase first of meiosis. This principle insists that different genes independently separate from one another when reproductive cells develop. Question number 64. What is the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation in the hybrid cross? F2 generation ውስጥ የዳይብሪድ ክሮስ መሃል ላይ ዳይብሪድ ክሮስ ላይ F2 generation phenotype ratio ስንት ይሆናል ነው? So that should be B 9 ratio to 3, 3 ratio to 3, 3 ratio to 1. Means that the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation in the hybrid cross is 9 ratio to 3, 3 to ratio to 3 to ratio to 1. Question number 65. How many pairs of autosomal chromosome do humans have? ሰው ልጅ autosomal chromosome pair ስንት ፔር አለው ይላል? So that should be C 22 pairs. Means that the humans have 22 pairs of autosomal chromosomes. ግን በአጠቃላይ how many autosomal ካላለ how many pairs of chromosomes are human being ካለ 23 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። አንዱ ዋን ፔሩ ሴክስ ክሮሞዞምስ ነው። 22ቱ autosomal chromosomes ናቸው ማለት ነው 22 ፔሩ። Question number 66. Which of the following is the first is Mendel's first law of heredity states that alleles for a trait separated during meiosis, so each gamete receive one allele. ከሚከተሉት የመጀመሪያ የሜንደልስ ህግ የሄሬዲቲ ህግ ነው። ስለ አሌሎች በማዮሲስ ጊዜ ሰፓሬት በመሆን እያንዳንዱ ጋሜት አንድ አሌል ሪሲቭ ያደርጋል ያለው የሜንደልስ ህግ ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be a law of segregation. Means that Mendel's first law of heredity is law of segregation that states all alleles are a trait separate during meiosis, so each gamete receive one allele. Question number 67. Which of the following genotype is RH factor positive? ከሚከተሉት genotype RH positive የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be D, A and B. ማለትም እናትና አባት ሁለቱም ፖዚቲቭ ከሆኑ RH ፖዚቲቭ ይሆናሉ። አባት ፖዚቲቭ ሆነ እናት ኔጋቲቭ ከሆነችም RH ፖዚቲቭ የፋክተር ፖዚቲቭ ይሆናሉ ማለት ነው። So that should be perfectly D. Question number 68. Which law says that genes do not influence each other with regard to storing alleles into gamete? የትኛው የሜንደልስ ህግ ጂኖች ኢንፍሉዌንስ አይደራረጉም ግን ጂኖች አሌልስ ጋሜት ውስጥ አሌሎችን ስቶር ያደርጋሉ ያለው የትኛው ህግ ላይ ነው? So that should be B, law of independent assortment. Means that law of independent assortment says that genes do not influence each other with regard to storing alleles into gamete. Question number 69. Which genetic disease is an example of sex-linked inheritance? ከሚከተሉት ጄኔቲክ በሽታዎች ሴክስ ሊንክድ ኢንሄሪታንስ የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C, hemophilia. Means that hemophilia is an example of sex-linked genetic disease. Question number 70. Which of the following sex chromosomes combination represent female in humans? ሰው ልጅ ውስጥ ሴክስ ክሮሞዞሞች ሴቶች ያላቸው ሴክስ ክሮሞዞሞች የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be B, XX chromosome. Means that sex chromosomes combination XX represents female in a humans. Question number 71. What environmental factor can cause phenocopy in Himalayan rabbit? የሂማላያን ጥንቸሎች ውስጥ ፌኖኮፒ ሊያመጣ የሚችል environmental factor የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be B, low temperature. Means that low temperature can cause phenocopy in Himalayan rabbits. Question number 72. Which of the following is an example of trait with multiple alleles in humans? ከሚከተሉት ሰው ልጅ ውስጥ multiple alleles ምሳሌ የሆነው ባህሪ የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C, blade type. Blade type, the ABO blade type, blade group system in humans is an example of trait which multiple alleles. With multiple alleles. Question number 73. What does it mean if an individual is pedigree chart is half shaded? Pedigree chart ውስጥ የአንድን ሰው pedigree chart ግማሹ ከተቀባ ይሄ ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be C, they are carer for a trait. ስለዚህ ግማሹ ከተቀባ ተሸካሚ ነው የበሽታ ሙሉ በበሽኑ በሽታ ከሱ ላይ ባይታወቅም በውስጡ በሽታ ላይ carer ነው ተሸካሚ ነው ማለት ነው። Means that an individual in a pedigree chart that is half shaded is carer for a trait or it is heterozygous. Question number 74. What does vertical line in pedigree chart connects parent to children represent? በpedigree chart ውስጥ parent እና child የሚያገናኝ vertical line ምን ተብሎ ይታወቃል ነው? So that should be D, parent offspring relationship. Means that a vertical line in pedigree chart connecting parents to children represents a parent offspring relationship. Question number 75. What does horizontal line connecting to parent in pedigree chart represent? But pedigree chart ውስጥ horizontal line ሁለቱ ፓረንቶች እናትና አባት የሚያገናኝ መስመር horizontal line ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be B, marriage line. A horizontal line connecting two parents in a pedigree chart represents marriage line. Question number 76. Which of the following is a pattern of inheritance for cystic fibrosis? ከሚከተሉት ፓተርን የኢንሄሪታንስ ፓተርን ለሲስቲክ ፋይብሮሲስ ሪፕሬዘንት የሚያደርገው የትኛው ነው ላል so that should be autosomal recessive. Means that cystic fibrosis follows an autosomal recessive pattern of inheritance. Question number 77. What genetic disorder is characterized by blood inability to clot normally? ከሚከተሉት የጄኔቲክ በሽታዎች ብሌድ አንድ እጅ ወይ ደግሞ አንድ አካል ከተቆረጠ ደሙ ፈሶ የማይቆምበት ከሆነ ይሄ ጄኔቲክ ዲዚዝ ምን የትኛው ነው ይላል? so that should be a hemophilia. Means that hemophilia is characterized by blood inability to clot normally. ስለዚህ ኖርማሊ ደም ክሎት የማያደርግ ከሆነ ያ በሽታው ጄኔቲክ ዲስኦርደር ምን ይባላል? ሄሞፊሊያ ይባላል ማለት ነው። Question number 78. Which of the following is an example of autosomal dominant disorder? ከሚከተሉት የአውቶሶማል ዶሚናንት ዲስኦርደር የሆነው ምሳሌ የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል? so that should be C. Huntington's disease. Means that Huntington's disease is an example of autosomal dominant trait. Question number 79. How is an autosomal recessive disorder is inherited? Autosomal recessive disorder የምንለው ከአባት ወይ ደግሞ ከወላጅ ከእናትና አባት ወደ ልጅ እንዴት ይተላለፋል ይላል? so that should be C. by inheriting two defect genes. ማለትም autosomal recessive disorder ከእናትና አባት ከፓረንት ወደ ልጃቸው የሚተላለፍበት መንገድ ሁለቱም ዲፌክቲቭ የተጎዳው ጂን ለልጁ የሚያወርሱ ከሆነ የሚሰጡ ከሆነ autosomal recessive inherited ይሆናል ማለት ነው። means that autosomal recessive disorder are inherited by inheriting two defective genes, one from each parent. Question number 80. Why are X-linked recessive disorder more common in males? X-linked recessive disorder የምንለው ከሴቶች ይልቅ ወንዶች ላይ more common ሆኖ ይበዛል ማለት ነው። ይሄ ለምንድን ነው? so that should be A. because males have only one X chromosomes. Means that X-linked recessive disorder is more common in males because they have only one X chromosomes and there is no second X chromosome to match the recessive alleles. Question number 81. Which of the following involves transfer of DNA to sex cell and effects will be passed on the parent, children and the subsequent generation? ከሚከተሉት ዲኤንኤ ወደ ሴክስ ሴሎችን ትራንስፈር የምናደርግበትና የሚሆንበትና ይሄ ኢፌክት ደግሞ ለቺልድረን ፔሸንቱ ለቺልድረን ለልጁ የሚያልፍና ለቀጣይ ጄኔሬሽን የሚተላለፍበት ምን ይባላል ነው? so that should be B. germline therapy. Means that germline therapy involves transfer of DNA to sex cell and the effect will be passed on the patient, children and subsequent generation. Question number 82. Which method in plant breeding involves harvesting F2 generation and the subsequent generation in a bulk? ከሚከተሉት ይሄ ሜቶዶች እጽዋቶችን ስናዳቅል F2 ሃርቨስት በማድረግ ሰብስኩዌንት ጄኔሬሽን ባልክ ውስጥ ሰብስኩዌንት የምናደርግበት ሜተድ ምን ይባላል ነው? so that should be C. bulk method. Means that the bulk method in a plant breeding involves harvesting F2 and the subsequent generation in a bulk. Question number 83. Which field combines biology, computer science and information technology? ከሚከተሉት ፊልድ ባዮሎጂ፣ ኮምፒውተር ሳይንስ እና ኢንፎርሜሽን ቴክኖሎጂ በማገጣጣም ኮምባይን በማድረግ የሚጠቀምበትና ባዮሎጂካል ዳታ የሚያጠናበት ፊልድ የትኛው ነው ላል? so that should be D. Bioinformatics. Means that bioinformatics is a field that links biology, computer science and information technology to manage biological data. Question number 84. Which of the following country is home to large, diverse livestock and crop resource? ከሚከተሉት ሀገራት ለብዙ ዱር እንስሳ እንደዚሁም ሰፊ መሬት ያላትና ብዙ የሰብል ምርት ያላት ሀገር የትኛዋ ናት ይላል። So that should be C, Ethiopia. Ethiopia is home to large and diverse livestock and crop resource as mentioned in the context. Question number 85. Which of the following mating to purebred individuals from different breeds or species? ከሚከተሉት mating ሁለት purebred individualsን ከዲፈረንት breed ወይ ደግሞ species የምናገኝበት የትኛው mating አይነት ነው ይላል። So that should be A, crossbreeding. Means that crossbreeding involves mating to purebred individuals from different breeds or species. Question number 86. Which of the following is an example of multifactorial disorder? ከሚከተሉት በብዙ መንገዶች ወይ ደግሞ በማልቲፋክቶሪያል የሚመጣው ወይ ደግሞ ማልቲፋክቶሪያል ዲስኦርደር ተብሎ የሚታወቀው ኤግዛምፕል የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be B, diabetes. Means that diabetes is an example of multifactorial disorder. Question number 87. Which of the following is not genetic disorder? ከሚከተሉት genetic disorder ያልሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be C, influenza. Means that influenza is is viral infection. It is not genetic disorder. Question number 88. Which gene therapy products uses DNA molecule to carry curative genes into human cells? ከሚከተሉት ጂን ቴራፒ ፕሮዳክት የሆነው ዲኤንኤ ሞሌኩሎችን በመጠቀም የሰው ልጅ ጂኖችን ለማዳን ወደ ሰው ልጅ ሴል ኬር የሚደረግበት ዲኤንኤ ፕሮዳክት ጂን ቴራፒ ፕሮዳክት የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be C, plasmid DNA. Means that plasmid DNA use DNA molecules to carry curative genes into human cells. Question number 89. Which genetic test is used to identify genetic disorder during pregnancy? በእርግዝና ጊዜ genetic testing genetic disorder ለማለየት የምንጠቀመው genetic testing የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be A, amniocentesis. Means that amniocentesis is a genetic test used to identify genetic disorder during pregnancy. Question number 90. Which genetic test involves sampling tissue from placenta during pregnancy? በእርግዝና ጊዜ ለሳምፕል ከፕላሴንታ የሚወሰደው ቲሹ ለሳምፕል የሚወሰደው ቲሹ በጄኔቲክ ቴስቲንግ የሚካሄደው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be D, chronic villus sampling. Means that chronic villus sampling involves sampling tissue from placenta to detect genetic disorder during pregnancy. ስለዚህ በእርግዝና ጊዜ ክሮኒክ ቪለስ ሳምፕሊንግ በመውሰድ ሳምፕሊንግ ቲሹን በመውሰድ ከፕላሴንታ ሳምፕሊንግ ቲሹን በመውሰድ ጄኔቲክ ዲስኦርደሩ ዲቴክት ማድረግ ይቻላል ማለት ነው ወይ ደግሞ መቅረፍ ይቻላል። Question number 91. Which type of gene therapy can affect future generation? ከሚከተሉት ጂን ቴራፒዎች future generation ላይ ቀጣይ ትውልድ ላይ አፌክት ያለው የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be B, germline therapy. Germline gene therapy. Germline gene therapy can affect future generation by modifying DNA of a sex cell. Question number 92. Which of the following is not frequently addressed threat in plant breeding? እጽዋቶች ስናዳቅል ጊዜ ምርጫ ውስጥ የማይገባ ባህሪ ከሚከተሉት የትኛው ነው ይላል። So that should be C, decreased nutrient content. Decreased nutrient content is not frequently addressed threat in plant breeding. ስለዚህ እጽዋቶች ስናዳቅል increased nutrient content ነው የምንመርጠው። decreased nutrient content ለማግኘት አናመርጥም ማለት ነው። Question number 93. What is the advantage of selective breeding in agriculture? ግብርና ውስጥ መርጠን ብሪድ የምናደርግበት ጥቅሙ ምንድነው ይላል? So that should be a enhancement of desired trait. Means that an advantage of selective breeding in agriculture is for enhancement of desired trait in plants and animals. Question number 94. What is the breeding that involves male and female to produce offspring? ከሚከተሉት የብሪዲንግ አይነት ወንድና ሴት ኦፍስፕሪንግ ለመስጠት የሚሳተፉበት ብሪዲንግ አይነት ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be bisexual reproduction. Means that breeding that involves male and female to produce offspring is sexual reproduction. Question number 95. Which of the following is an example of selective breeding in Ethiopia? ከሚከተሉት መርጠን ብሪድምና የምናዳቀልበት ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ተመርጦ የሚያዳቀሉበት ምሳሌ የሆነው የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be C. Breeding Borona cattle for desirable traits. Means that selective breeding is selection of individuals, animals or plants that show most desirable characteristics for the next generation. So example of selective breeding in Ethiopia is breeding Borona cattle for desirable traits. Question number 96. Which technique in animal breeding is used to produce offspring through mating genetically similar organisms? እንስሳቶችን ስናዳቅል ተመሳሳይ የሆኑ ጄኔቲካሊ ተመሳሳይ የሆኑ ኦርጋኒዝሞችን ኦፍስፕሪንግ ፕሮዲዩስ ለማድረግ የምንጠቀመው ቴክኒክ ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be inbreeding. Means that inbreeding is used to produce offspring through mating genetically similar organisms. ስለዚህ ጄኔቲካሊ ተመሳሳይ የሆኑ ኦርጋኒዝሞች በኢንብሪዲንግ ኦፍስፕሪንጎችን ከነሱ ፕሮዲዩስ ኢንብሪዲንግ ተጠቅመን ኦፍስፕሪንግ ፕሮዲዩስ ማድረግ እንችላለን ማለት ነው። Question number 97. Which of the following involves design, construction and use software tools to generate, store, interpret and analyze biological data? ከሚከተሉት ዲዛይን፣ ኮንስትራክሽን እና ሶፍትዌር ቱልሶችን ተጠቅመው ባዮሎጂካል ዳታ ጄነሬት ለማድረግ ስቶር እና ኢንተርፕሬት እና አናላይዝ የሚያደርግበት ፊልድ ከሚከተሉት የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be Bioinformatics. Means that Bioinformatics involves design, construction and the use of software tools to generate, store, interpret and analyze biological data. Question number 98. Which area of bioinformatics deals with DNA sequence? ከሚከተሉት የባዮኢንፎርማቲክስ ኤሪያ ሆኖ ስለ ዲኤንኤ ሲኩዌንስ የሚያጠና የትኛው ነው ይላል? So that should be A. Genomics. Means that genomics deals with DNA sequence data and also study genomes. ስለዚህ genomics ከባዮኢንፎርማቲክስ ኤሪያ ውስጥ አንዱ ሆኖ ስለ ዲኤንኤ ሲኩዌንስ ዳታ ያጠናል፣ እንደዛውም ስለ ጄኖምስ ያጠናል ማለት ነው። Question number 99. How does bioinformatics contribute to diagnosis and detection of disease? Bioinformatics የተለያዩ በሽታ ዳያግኖስ ለማድረግና በሽታው ዲቴክት ለማድረግ እንዴት ነው አስተዋጽኦ የሚያደርገው ይላል? So that should be by using computer models to analyze genetic data. Means that bioinformatics contribute diagnosis and detection of disease by using computer models to analyze genetic data and also identify disease causing mutagens, and also bioinformatics help in vaccine development by screening database for pathogens and genomes to identify potential vaccine to target. ስለዚህ ኮምፒውተር ሞዴሎችን ተጠቅመን የተለያዩ በሽታ ዳያግኖስ በማድረግ ዲቴክት ማድረግ እንችላለን ማለት ነው። እንደዛው ባዮኢንፎርማቲክስ ዳታ የበሽታው ነው ደግሞ የፓቶጂን ጄኖምስን ስክሪን በማድረግ ለእነሱ የሚዋለው ቫክሲን ዲቨሎፕ ያደርጋል ማለት ነው። Question number 100. Which area of bioinformatics focus on function, shape, interaction and abundance of proteins? ከባዮኢንፎርማቲክስ ኤሪያ ውስጥ ስለ ፕሮቲን የሚያጠና ፕሮቲን ስራ፣ ሼፕ፣ ኢንተራክሽን እና ፕሮቲን አባንዳንሲ የሚያጠና ባዮኢንፎርማቲክስ ኤሪያው ምን ይባላል ነው? So that should be A. Proteomics. proteomics. Means that proteomics focus on the function, shape, interaction, and abundance of protein in biological system. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget like, subscribe, share, comment Aliyi's YouTube channel. ይሄንን ቪዲዮ ስላዳመጣችሁ እጅግ አድርጌ ነው የማመሰግናችሁ። ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ ያላደረጋችሁ ዛሬ ላይክ ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ Aliyi's YouTube channel ጎን ሁኑ። እንደዛውም ይሄንን ቪዲዮ ሁልጊዜ የኔ ቪዲዮ የሚታዩበት ጊዜ VPN ወይ ደግሞ ሲፎን መክፈቱን እንዳትረሱ። ምክንያቱም ጥርት ያለ ኳሊቲ ያለው ቪዲዮ ለማግኘት VPN ሲታከፍቱ ነው የምታገኙ ማለት ነው። እንደዛውም ሐሳብ ካላችሁ ኮሜንት ስር ጻፉልን። Until I come back with other tutorial video, good time for you. Until I come back with other tutorial video, መልካም ጊዜ ይሁንላችሁ። If you have any question or suggestion, ሐሳብ ካላችሁ ወይ ኮሜንት ስር ጻፉልን። ሌላ ጊዜ ሌላ tutorial video እስከርብ ድረስ መልካም ጊዜ ይሁንላችሁ። If you have any question or suggestion, please write under comment. Until I come back with other tutorial video, good time for you. መልካም ጊዜ ይሁንላችሁ። ቻሪ ገጥማችሁ. Thank you. Well back again.